Today, we're pickling some red onions.
I've always said this is something everybody needs in the fridge, and it only takes 5 minutes, so stay with me. There's a few different ways to pickle onion. This is the most easy, basic, simple recipe. You're gonna need 7 ingredients. That includes the salt and the water and everything. You'll start off with 1 large red onion. You can use 2 small ones too, or you can use 2 big ones. You just need a bigger jar. You're gonna slice it really thin. You can use a mandolin if you have one, but I prefer just to use a knife and cut it thin. If you do either prefer to cut them thicker or it just turns out that they're a little bit thicker, that's totally fine. They just need a little bit longer sitting in the marinade in order to fully pickle. Now you want to find a jar that's big enough to fit all your onions. It's okay if it's a little snug or if you need to use 2 jars. As long as they all fit in a jar, you're good to go. This recipe is so good and I put so much passion behind it that, I start to tear up a little bit. Those darn onions. All right, now we can talk about ingredients. There's kind of an infinite amount of things you can add to pickling jars. I personally like to keep it classic and I use whole peppercorns and a bay leaf. If you like it garlicky, you can add in a clove or 2 of garlic. If you like it herby, you can also add in some herbs and seasonings as well. Like I said, we're keeping it classic, so whole peppercorns and a bay leaf go straight in the jar with your onions. In a saucepan, you're gonna add 1 cup of water and 1 cup of white vinegar, 1 tablespoon of kosher salt, and then 1/4 cup, or a little bit less, I always add a little bit less, of sugar. This time I added 2 tablespoons of sugar. Now you're gonna add it to the heat and you're gonna stir just until the sugar and the salt dissolves. You don't need it to boil. If it does boil, no worries, just let it cool down a little bit. If it doesn't boil and it's just warm, you can add it straight to the onions after cooking. The final step is to let it cool down to room temperature and then you can close it up and put it in the fridge. You can store it in the fridge for about 3 weeks to a month. Mine don't even last that long because they're so good. They're ready to eat whenever you think they are, but I would probably wait at least 2 hours. You can really add them to anything, tacos, burritos, scrambled eggs, avocado toast. I love to add them to sandwiches. The liquid will be clear right when you add it to the jar, and then 24 hours later, it should start to take on the color of the pickled red onions. The longer they sit, the more red the liquid will be and the more pickled your onions will be. Let me know if you try this recipe. Make sure you like this video and subscribe for more. Welcome to my official YouTube channel for all your recipe and travel needs. Join me as I break down amazing dishes from all over the world, to simple appetizers to advanced baking techniques. Grab a snack, sit down, and drool with me. If you're feeling hungry, subscribe for more.